Good evening, friends, and welcome to another edition of the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show. Good evening and welcome aboard. And thank you so much for checking us out here on our YouTube channel, Music Dreams USA Radio. Please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we're also coming to you live on all of our other social media outlets as well. And again, like those social media outlets and tell your family and friends about it. Our show is being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music and also Biker Bay Barber Company. And again, make sure you check out Karen. She supports, as well as we do, live music bands. So if you're a live music band looking to get your name out there, you need some exposure, check out Stephen Brady or check out Karen. Either one of those two folks can certainly help you out. And on tonight's show, we got a really cool person and some pretty cool stuff I want to ask him about. So his name is Chris James. Now, here's the cool thing about him. He has not released a single in 9 years. That's right, 9 years. He's been a busy man, taking care of some things, right? So we'll ask him about that. But he's got a pretty cool song that just came out. It's called Red Dirt on His Hands. Trust me, it's a jam. I heard it. And you can actually hear it tomorrow morning on the Russell K. Alexis, Shauna Brown, and DJ Cassie Morning Show. Again, Music Dreams USA Radio. We are a distributed iHeart Radio station on the iHeart Radio platform. Download the iHeart Radio app and punch in Music Dreams USA Radio, and you can listen to us anywhere, anytime, any place. We play music for everyone. And where there's internet, there is Music Dreams USA Radio. So again, welcome aboard. Without any further delay, let's go ahead and welcome Mr. Chris James is in the building. Hello, Mr. Chris James. How are you, my friend?
Good, Russell. Good evening to you and your listeners. Good to be here.
Well, it's great to have you as well, my friend. Thanks for taking some time out this. Well, it's morning where you are, but it's evening where we are. So, It's only early evening. It's around 7 o'clock right now, Eastern time. And you said it's around 9 o'clock your time up in Sydney, Australia. So I'm jealous. I always wanted to visit Sydney, Australia. Actually, you know what? Stephen Brady, who's your agent with Blue Shamrock Music, we've been talking about, getting all the previous artists that we've interviewed, and there's been many, of getting them all together and put on one big show up in Australia. So, hopefully we can make that happen. But in the meantime, let's find out more about you. So tell who is Chris James? Tell our listeners who is Chris James?
Well, that's a difficult question. I started
expect the unexpected, by the way. I forgot to tell you. Expect the unexpected.
I started in the industry maybe 40 years ago now. And back then I was in the cabaret circuit. I hadn't really found my feet, so I was just doing the cabaret scene for a while, and then life got in the way, and I let it all go. And then I came back and I started writing songs, and I didn't have a platform to release them on. I didn't even know how to do it. So trial and error, and then stumbling onto the right people, and I've got led up to the path of Stephen when he had his older business, CRS, and Stephen started releasing my stuff back in the early 2000s back then. And it all came about because I started doing breakfast radio on the central coast of Sydney, Australia, and started bumping into the right kind of people, you know what I mean? So they led me to where I needed to be. Have you ever heard of Adam Harvey?
I have actually heard of him, yes.
Yeah, Adam, very big down here in Australia, and I got to know Adam. We became very good mates, and so Adam sort of guided me along a bit. But it's probably the good thing about country music is that it doesn't matter how old you are. If the music's good, the music's good. And it was later in life when I stumbled across all this. So so that's where it came from. And my music started with mum and dad. Dad was a very big country fan, and my mother, Elvis Presley, rock and roll. And our Sunday lunches here in Australia used to be a roast dinner, and there used to be a fight over the record player, whether it be Elvis Presley or whether it was going to be country music. But my dad always won out, and we always played country music. So my roots are way back with the old country style.
What do you think about the new country of today?
Look, there's a place for it. Obviously, I'm not a big fan. I'm a big fan of storytelling songs, and all the songs that I write are storytelling songs. I've got to have a message that I want to send out there. And but look, yeah, there's definitely a place for it, obviously, because it's going so well. But it's just not my kind of thing. And I'm hearing along the grapevine that the older style of country is coming back again. So I'm hoping that does continue that way.
Yeah, you and me both. Country music is country music, but there's a place for it, and there's a right platform, to let that be country music. And you got a lot of the top pop stars, that moved over to country. But I guess my question would be: are they moving over for the love of music, and that they love country music? They want to try to maybe enhance country music, or are they just coming over for the dough? And that's always been my question. And if you listen to some of this country music now, it includes rap. I mean that's like trying to mix salt and vinegar together. I just don't. I've never been a fan of that. I mean, country music is country music. Why are we changing something that's been around forever? You've had some of the greatest artists that have performed the country music. What I just said, what do you think about that?
No, I agree with you 100%. 100%. It's and I believe that they are coming over for the dollars and cents. Personally, that they see a market there, they can see they can make money on it. And look, what can I say? Good luck to them, I suppose. But I just hope that our style of country music does come back bigger and better. And look, while I'm still alive, and I'm, my feet are still planted on this earth, I'll be writing songs that have meaning and a story to them.
Another question for you. In your introduction to our audience who are watching now, that we'll be watching later, you mentioned Stephen Brady, and this is your second time around with him. What's going to make this time around more more for you? What do you think?
I don't know. To be quite honest, I'm kind of a believer of suck it and see. Just have a go and see what happens. And if you've got the product there, and the product's reasonable or good, hopefully that people will pick up on it. And people like yourself. The only thing I favoured the old version a little bit, in as back in the day there used to be a compilation CD. I don't know if you remember it, for CRS, and it would go out, and you would get a flyer of everybody who got the CD. So you could ring them and say, "G'day, Chris Jones got a new single out." You could have a talk. Just with the download, I don't know who's got it and who hasn't got it, so I can't ring anybody and talk to anybody. So you got to hope that the product's good enough.
Well, I mean, much success in your second time around with Stephen Brady and Blue Shamrock Music. I know you're in good hands with Mr. Stephen Brady. He's an amazing guy, and he has the love and passion, just like we do, for artists, and doing anything we can to help them get their music out there, get their exposure out there. And we're glad you're here, and we wish you nothing but the best. Now let's move on and let's talk about your musical journey. You talked about your mom and dad, but at one point in your career did you realize, what, I might have something here?
Look, I always kind of knew that I could sing, kind of, but I think as it was later for me, so it was probably in my 40s, that I thought, I need to have a go at this, and I need to do it now, because I'm not getting any younger. And I started writing and speaking to people like Adam Harvey, and letting them listen to the songs and getting their opinion on them, because you don't know if it's any good, or if you're any good or not. And it's only for the talking to other people and getting their opinions, that because your family's always going to say it's good. They're always going to say it's good. But get honest opinions. And we were getting some good feedback. I was getting some good feedback, and I thought, you know what, let's just have a go at this. I was probably mid-40s when I really had a go at it. So that's what it was, really.
Let's talk about your song that just came out. Can you maybe tell our listeners how that song came together? And what do you think about that song? Do you like it?
Yeah, the song came together because down in the Riverina here in Australia, it's out west. It's very rural there, and some family members have got a winery out there, and so it was the 80th anniversary this year, or is the 80th anniversary this year of that winery. So I sat down and I started to write a song. I wanted to do something special for them. I go and play for them every year. They have a wine festival every Easter. And so I wanted to do something special. So I sat down to write a song for them. And I was halfway through the song, and I thought, well, this song is pretty indicative of many families that have come from a place or a country to another country, even the USA, to try and make a better life for themselves and their family. And so we just tweaked it a little bit. So there's two versions of this song, one for the Calabria family wines and one for the radio version. And yeah, I'm hoping it strikes a chord with other families around the world. And that's how the song came about. And to answer your other question there, I think this is one of the best songs I've written, to be quite honest.
Awesome. And what does your songwriting look like when you actually sit down and you want to put something together? Can you kind of like give us an outline of what that looks like?
Well, it's every song's kind of different. I just need to have a lot of songs that I write are from the heart or my life experiences or whatever. But so they're all different. But what I do like about it is I listen to the original when I first started writing it. I'll record it, and then by the time it finishes, the transition from the beginning to the end product is just amazing. That really blows me away all the time, because it starts up rubbish and then it ends being half decent, you know what I mean? So, but it normally starts with me. I normally have something in my head, like the 80th anniversary. I wanted something, and I wanted to go back and bring the founders of Calabria Family Wine into the song. I wanted to put in the people that are running it now into the song, and that's how it sort of came about that way. So, and then the music just sort of happened. It just happens. This song took me, in all honesty, probably 3 days to write. Not full days, but 3 part-time days to write.
Oh, that's awesome. And so, I mean, right off, so you're promoting this song big time, and you're doing a lot of interviews, and you're being asked about the song probably time and time again. And but yeah, as I mentioned in the show opener, we had an opportunity to listen to the song. It's a great song. It truly is, and I can't wait to play it tomorrow on our morning show, which will be heard on the iHeartRadio platform, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern, on Music Dreams USA Radio. So again, our show being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music and Biker Bay Barber and Karen and Mr. Stephen Brady. So thanking those folks for sponsoring our show now. And so what's next after this song? What's on the horizon for you?
Oh, look, I'd like to do another album, and I've got probably 4, 5 songs that are ready to go. So I'm still writing, but I'm really particular. Unless I think they're good, like I won't put something that's half done. Like if I'm not confident with it, I'm not happy with it, it won't go on. So that's probably another reason why it took so long to bring out another single, because I haven't stopped writing, but I've stopped writing good. No, I just yes, another album to answer your question, and I am still writing, and I've got a few other ideas in the wings there that are coming through. So yeah.
Any plans of going live, like going to the venues and getting your music out that way as well? Is that something maybe you're looking into as well?
Look, I did live music for 15 years, and I lived off it for a long time. Not only my music, it was obviously covers there. However, when COVID came around, it kind of buggered it up for everybody, really. And we had to go and get day. We had I've got bills to pay. We all need to put food on the table, so I had to go and get a day job. And so music, unfortunately, had to take a back seat to life.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing about our business, you have your ups and downs, and, just when you think you're at the ultimate high, something comes along, and yeah, so definitely wish you all the best in that, and glad to have you back in the music scene. And, if you, the song that we just heard is anything like you're going to have be putting out, I mean, we can't wait to hear it in. So, yeah. So other than writing the music right now, is there anything else that you're looking to do as it relates to your music career?
Oh, look, I want to do a film clip for this song, actually, to be quite honest. So that's probably the next thing. I want to get that happening ASAP. I'm just in talks with some people at the moment to get that happening. So I like video clips, and they sort of, really show what you mean. This song has got, there's a couple of lines in there that could be interpreted different ways, and with a film clip, you can actually show what I can show what I mean when I was writing it, if that makes any sense at all.
Oh, it does. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so another question for you. What was the best advice that you ever got from someone in the music industry?
I was going to be funny there and say, get out of it, but no.
Well, you were for 9 years. I mean, come on.
Look, the best advice is just to give your all. Actually, the best advice I ever got from somebody, well, it wasn't advice, it was probably it's just a saying. It said, if after an evening of performing, you've pleased one person, then you've done your job right. Because you can never please everybody. But if you can please one and make their life different and make their life special, then you've done your job.
I like that, I like that. I like that cliche. You can please some people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. Man, is that in the radio world? You're not whistling Dixie on that one, brother. And so when you're not doing music, do you have any hobbies?
I do. I'm a car dude. Hey, I like cars, especially classic American cars, to be quite honest. I did have a 68 Corvette for a little while, and I'm building a 1929 Chev truck at the moment. So that's taking up a fair bit of time as well.
Wow. Maybe we need to get up there so you take me for a ride in that bad boy.
Probably by the time you get here.
Yeah. And how can the people who are listening now and that will be watching later, I mean, how can they get in contact with you if they want to download when they hear this song, I mean, your phone's will be ringing off the hook. How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah. Look, the song's available on all the major streaming platforms, so you can get it on iTunes and all those things. And as far as getting in contact with me, I am on Facebook, obviously. So Chris James, Facebook, or you can call me and you can get my number through Russell.
That's right. There you go. As we wind down our show this evening, again, thank you so much for taking time out. Morning for you and early evening for us, but it's always a pleasure. That's one thing I love about this show. We meet some really cool people, and yet here comes another really cool person we met. So thank you for the opportunity to meet you and to have you live on our show. And is there anything that maybe we haven't covered that maybe you want to cover and share with our audience? The stage is yours, my brother.
You did it again. You put me on the spot again.
Hey, that's what we do. As I told you, when you come to Artist Spotlight Show, expect the unexpected.
No, there's nothing real. I hope you enjoy the song. I really do. I hope people like the song. Happy you can enjoy it and see where I was coming from. And I look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it was a pleasure. I mean, we're going to definitely have you for part 2. We're going to talk to you and say, Mark this artist as a return. For sure. Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
like to
yeah.
thank Stephen for does a great job. And if anyone out there is looking to release music, you need to get in contact with Stephen Bradbury. He'll look after you.
So, as our show does wind down, let's talk about Stephen Brady. What has he meant to you in your musical career?
Oh, look, he's been just 9 years out of the industry is a long time, and things have changed like this, like we're doing right now. I've never done anything like this before. Things have changed, and especially for someone like me who's not up to date with all this technical stuff, he is phenomenal in guiding you and helping you to get your stuff out there and do what you need to do. You know, I was so far behind, like the younger ones, because they know all this technology. I brought up with this technology, and he was just good. He is just brilliant.
Let me ask you this question. Obviously, you've been there. You're back again at one of the highest places you can be in the industry, right? However, we may be having artists who are watching now, maybe we'll be watching later, who are at the wit's end, and they're just ready to throw their arms up and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm out of here. Stick a knife in me, stick a fork in me. I'm done. So, what can you say to those artists who are like, they feel like they've given everything they have, and
pick up your guitar and just keep going. You just keep going, keep poking along, you will get there. You will meet the right person. The right person will hear your song or hear you. You'll find Stephen. Something will happen. Just keep going. Do not give up.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to put you on the spot again. You got your guitar in your hands, right?
Yep.
Is there any way that maybe you can sing just a portion of the song that we're going to play tomorrow morning?
I don't know how it's going to sound, but we'll try it.
Let's go for it. All right, we're live.
A young man's dreams built on open pride. He came to this land to make a new life for him and his wife back in 45. He planted a seed just to watch it grow. Could never believe, how could he ever know? A legacy was born that early morn. Well, now he's talking with God, and he's just thanking the Lord. Now we'll do the chorus. Here we go. With that red dirt on his hands, his dreams and all his plans, he worked hard on his land for a better way. Yeah.
Woo! Good job. Woo! That was awesome. Encore. Great job. That was amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. I mean, what a great way to end the show with you doing that. So thank you so much for doing that. You're amazing. Oh my goodness, you are so amazing. Oh, you know what though? We got to tell all of our listeners watching now and we'll be watching later. You're also a radio DJ.
I used to be, yeah. I did 4.5 years of breakfast up here on the central coast of Australia, of Sydney in Australia, and loved every minute of it. But it was time for me to move on. But you never know, you might see me again very, very soon.
That's right. We're going to hold that. We're going to hold that surprise. All right. We're going to get you a formal introduction. That would be so cool. But yeah, I think we're going to make that happen for sure. Right. Absolutely. Excellent. So you know what? Hint for who's watching now, watching later. You have not seen the last of Mr. Chris James. Oh, by the way, Stephen Brady, if you're watching right now, thank you, sir. All right, my friend. Any final thoughts before we call it a day?
No, just thank you very, very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that everyone over there in the US enjoys the song.
Oh, they're going to. I mean, they heard a little bit of it tonight. But they're going to hear the full version tomorrow on the Russell K. Alexis, Sean Brown, and DJ Cassie Morning Show on Music Dreams USA Radio, a distributed iHeart Radio station on the iHeart Radio platform. Again, thank you so much for watching the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show. Every Wednesday, we are live on our YouTube channel, on all of our other social media outlets as well. Please tell your family and friends about us. Let them know if they're looking for a really fun show to watch. We're here every Wednesday with your friend Russell K. And again, special thank you to Stephen Brady, Blue Shamrock Music, and also Karen with Biker Bay Barber Entertainment Company as well. I want to thank those folks for sponsoring our show this evening. Until the next time, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with us here this evening. You take care. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you here next Wednesday on Music Dreams USA Radio. Until then, say a special thank you to Mr. Chris James. What an amazing interview that was. And want to say another special thank you to him for sharing part of that song that you're going to hear tomorrow as well. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Take care and God bless.